Hello everyone, it's Sheila back again. Welcome to my channel. I'm back from my knitting natter today and I've been all sorted because I've had my tea. I had put some stewing steak and had made a bit stew in my slow cooker. I put it in very early this morning so it was ready when I came home from the thing because I only had a little bit pizza for my lunch. I was quite hungry actually. But we had a new lady at our knitting natter club today. One of the other ladies was missing, the lady called Angela who does the needle felting. I don't know where she was. One of the other girls thought she might have been on holiday. We weren't sure, but she wasn't there last week either. Well, none of the other girls were there last week because two of them weren't feeling very well. And the other lady, Angela, might have possibly been on holiday. We don't know. We'll find out when she comes back. But we did have a new lady called Sue who had seen the advert that was on Facebook for the knitting at the poacher. So she came to meet us. We had a good bit chat going on and that, and she was actually doing fair rail. She was knitting fair rail little squares. And she was going to stitch them all together and making a quilt. So to put a cover, a backing on the quilt afterwards. That's what she was making with a square. So she says it's going to be a long job sewing them all together, or however she puts them together afterwards. So we all had a lot to talk about, telling each other, about each other, who we all were, and getting to know what everyone else was doing. But I got very little knitting done. I took this to do some knitting and I thought, well, at least I might get up to the armholes, something on it. And I think I got about 2 rows on it done. I spent most of the time putting my friend Anne's knitting right because she kept making mistakes. And I've come to the conclusion that Anne cannot knit and natter at the same time. She kept getting herself in a bad temper with it. I think she threw her knitting down on the table and my computer has just gone bright. I've put that daylight bulb in my bedroom. It's gone back down again, just to see what a difference it makes to the videos. And it is a lot better, it is a lot brighter, but it still goes light and dark. And as you just saw a few seconds ago, when it goes bright, it is bright. I wish I could stop that auto brightness on it, but I can't because it's good otherwise. Especially putting that daylight bulb in there because it is dark outside now. But I did try it during the day as well. And it is much better with a daylight bulb than a warm bulb. The warm bulb seems to cast a dark shadow over the room. And I've knitted across that row and I have forgot to increase. And I'm going to have to pull 3 rows out. I've increased at the start, but not at the end of the row. And I wasn't doing the video when I'd done that row. I've just missed it. I'm going to have to take those 3 rows out. And do that increase on the right row because it'll look odd. You might be able to see the increase if I put it on the next row, which is going to be 4 rows difference. It's probably going to be seen because when you sew the seam up, you have that little bump on either side of the seam where you're going to have one bump here, another one higher up. So it's going to be noticed. So I'm pulling those 3 rows out and put the increase in the right place. Well, I only need to pull 2 out because it's at the end of the row I haven't increased. So I'll pull 2 rows out and then just the little bit at the end of the third row, not the whole row. So that's what I'm doing with that, but I'll hold that a minute. But I did start doing, I took this with me as well, just to show anybody. If anybody had heard of the Sophie scarf, I thought I would try it myself. I thought I could do with just a small scarf to put round my neck while I'm in the car. And I'm just using a little bit. I think this is a little bit of the picture's just gone bright again. It's just a little bit of that shop that's closed down. I can't remember the name of it. And where I used to get some good wool from. And I had a little bit left. I think there'll be enough in that little bit to do it. To show you. It's called a Sophia scarf, where you make an eye cord on either side. You just start off with, you can have 6 or 7 stitches. It depends what you want to do. And you just increase on every. Only I'm looking at it, I can see where I've increased the stitches there. I think I may have to pull it out and try and see if I can do the increase so they can't be seen, because I can see that's the mark there where I've increased the stitch. It's not quite as visible up there. I don't know what I've done maybe, but I think I'm going to need a little bit of practice with that one. But it's the same on both sides. Where you knit, we started off with the 7 stitches, I think it was, or some people do 6 stitches. I'm not sure which is best. I need a little bit of practice because this is not my own, it's just something I've seen, where you cast on 6 or 7 stitches. I have 7. I might try it with 6 and see what difference it makes. But you knit the first 3 stitches, and if it's 7 you would knit 1 more stitch, and the last 3 stitches you bring your wool to the front as though you're going to purl, but you just slip those 3 stitches off the needle onto the other needle, and then you turn around and you just knit those 3 stitches again. Do exactly the same on every row. And I thought I'll just try that to see how it comes out. But like I'm saying, I'm not happy with the increase. It's just too noticeable. I need to do a little bit of practice, try different ways of increasing the stitch to see if it doesn't show up, because when you hold it like that, you can see the little indent mark. That's where it's been increased. Be better if it was right on the edge of the stitch. I'll have to try that with, maybe do it on one of the stitches that you're slipping off instead of the thing. I'll have to have a little bit of practice with that. Could be the wool as well, because it's quite fine. It's Wilko's shop, the one that closed down, and it was very good wool there, and it's lovely and soft, this little bit of cream. So I'm going to try the scarf. So I'll have to try some different increases, because you're going to have to increase so far until it gets as wide as you want it, and then knit however many rows without doing any increasing to get a length, where you want a wide bit to go maybe around the back of your neck there, like, and then the narrower bits just to go either tie at the front or what you do. So you're going to have to decrease on the way back down again. So I'm going to have to work that out. I may do a tutorial when I work it out a little bit better, when I see if I can get the stitches increased and then decreased better. But I need to do a little bit practice with it. But it looks quite good. What I've seen, there's quite a few tutorials on eBay for it. So anyway, that's all I'm doing with that, because I want to get this cardigan finished, because I already have all the other pieces done. I've already have the back, the 2 fronts, and that's the other sleeve. So I just need to finish the sleeve, and then I can put the neck and do the bands and sew it up. And then I have a white one to do, so I'll have to get on with that one and then get that one finished and get those ones off my books. But that was just a little bit extra to today to let you know how my knitting natter went today. And what I'm saying about this computer using the daylight bulb does make a lot of difference. Just wish it didn't go bright every so often. And I don't know how it went bright because there was no sort of sudden movement or anything like that. It just suddenly came up bright and down again. I just cannot work out how to stop that because otherwise it is a good picture there. It's done it again. Maybe it's because I moved my hand down here. I don't know what it is. But anyway, thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll catch you all another time. So bye for now.